So listen, if you're not feeling like hungry, lonely, and tired in New York, I'm not sure you're experiencing it the right way. What's up, Boss Vloggers? Yo, Boss Vlogs. Check it out. I'm in New York City right now. I'm on the lower end of Manhattan. And I want to tell you guys, like, my first impressions of New York City. Right off the bat, New York City causes anxiety. You step out of LaGuardia, you get off the train, you step off your airplane, and you move into the terminals, and you start going. You need to get to Manhattan, and right off the bat, it's tough. You get off the train, you have to move. You have to move fast, and that causes this extreme amount of anxiety. You get to the space, you want to get on the bus, and you think it's easy, then you think they tell you how to get on the bus. There's no one who tells you how to get on the bus. Actually, the only thing that you actually run into are a bunch of homeless people who are peeing on the streets, and you don't even know how to buy a Metro pass. You don't even know what to do. So there's nothing really that like explains that to you, and that's why I'm doing this video. So the first thing you realize, you're like trying to get on the train, and when you do get on the train and you think you know where you're going, you realize like you're pulling out of LaGuardia, you think you're on the move, bang, you're stuck in traffic. It's the first thing it just smashes you. Traffic, like traffic like we've never seen where I'm from in Canada. And not only is it super trafficy, but your bus is just packed with people. No one cares about your luggage. No one cares about you. No one even wants to move out of your way when you got to stand. No one moves. Actually, they stand in front of you, and they're just thinking about themselves. That's the first thing that also happens. Another thing is, like, not only can you not move and you can't get around, but the guy you're standing next to, or the guy you're trying to figure out, a person you want to ask, the first thing you know is there's like it reeks, man. So for some reason, if you're taking the train, and if you're trying to get on the subway, and if you're trying to just get out and move, and anyone that might actually give you the time of day, usually in New York City, one thing I'm noticing is they stink. Like, because people who don't stink usually come from somewhere where they don't help people or something. I don't know, but like, and actually the guy who stinks, he can't really help you either. He mumbles and wants your money. So as you move forward, and you know, maybe I'm not sure what you're planning on doing, but when you come to New York and you think it's going to be super easy, you get here, almost immediately you realize it's going to be a lonely journey, because no one's looking at you and no one really cares who you are, no matter what. So what you immediately realize is that this place is hard. It's so hard, and like right now I have to pee, and I got nowhere to go pee, and no one who cares, and I don't have a clue where to go, and that starts to make New York. Those feelings start to take New York and make it seem ugly, and they don't make it. It's not because the city's ugly. It's because it makes you feel like you're ugly, because it's hard to fit in. Another thing that makes me feel like this place may make people think that it's ugly is that it's hard to find a place to eat that's someplace you know, especially if you're not from here. So you can tell the locals, they all know where they're going, where they're gonna eat. But as a newbie, you're like, where do I go and what do I do? So listen, if you're not feeling like hungry, lonely, and tired in New York, I'm not sure you're experiencing it the right way. This city does have stuff to offer people like me, and I don't have to feel rejected when I go visit 368 and I don't get to walk in, because, you know, that's kind of the impression you're gonna get. You get the impression that this, and number one, another thing I want to mention is that Casey, isn't able to actually create a grasp on how massive this city actually is. It's way bigger than you could ever dream of. The world you see on the vlogs is a fantasy world. It's not what really happens in New York. And I know that, you know, that those original feelings, that original feeling of rejection, which is like normal, I believe, is really, I think, what propels the best people. God, there's garbage everywhere, and it stinks. Traffic in New York, always just bumper to bumper. Like everywhere I go, it's bumper to bumper. Bumper to bumper. I'm lucky I got to squeeze through. Bike lanes everywhere too. Bah. Pet, wet paint. Look at it, just sticky wet paint, tar everywhere. The city can make you feel claustrophobic. I get stuck here. I want to move, but I'm gated. It's gated. I got nowhere to cross the street. I gotta, the footbridge, okay. Yo, so one of the best things about boss vlogging in New York right now is that right now I'm so f***ing hungry. I don't have a clue where to eat. It's pissing me off, and all I want to do is eat a big old bowl of pasta and get back to this vlog, man. I got talking shit about Casey Neistat. Yo, I came to a deli off of Broadway, man. He's making me a sandwich right there. Sandwich. Look, check this dude's badass. Big fat sandwich right, buck. That might help me get in a better mood, so I won't talk as much about this city. In New York City, man, when it rains, it pours, all right? And trust me, I can tell by how crazy the city's getting that it's gonna be a major storm's coming on right now, and I cannot wait to see it. I wish I had the news, they could tell me. People cramming into the subways, because yo, you can just tell the city's starting to go, it's starting to get crazy. Let's see what's out here. I'm gonna stick around outside. Because no one ever talks about how crazy it gets in New York City. It's the great apple. It's all that jazzazzle. No one talks about the stinky, poor, windy, it rains, it pours. There's no place for you to go. There's no place for you to go except maybe the subway. People cruising, letting the wind blow them. Look at that. Loving it. I just saw some scaffolding fall off, like right down the street from like 25, 30, 40, 50,000 stories or something. No one does crap about this. Yo, it's the Boss Vlog. I have a feeling when it rains in New York it pours, so I'm going back to my hostel.